Hello and welcome to Elevate, Massage Heights Weekly Podcast. This is Shane Evans, co-founder and president. This week, once again, we are joined by Michele Oktay. Michele is the regional director as well as retreat director for the John Weathers Group in Dallas, Texas. Welcome, Michele. So you guys have multiple retreats, and you are the regional for those retreats and overseeing one yourself. So you've got that responsibility of Stonebridge Ranch, but you also have that responsibility of leading your retreat directors of two other locations as well. I don't want to talk about challenges necessarily. I think I want to talk about the opposite, which is, how have you been able to overcome sort of the challenges of multi-unit management? What do you do? What do you have in place that helps you on a daily basis really guide, and lead your retreat directors?
Right. So we have amazing teams in place at all three locations. I could not do Stonebridge without Danielle, the assistant. There's just no way.
Yeah.
She is all me when I'm not there, and even when I am there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it without her. And the management teams at Frisco, Felicia and Jasmine, amazing. And then Plano, we've got Nicole and Ashton, and they're on top of it. They're out there leading and on top too. So first of all, I couldn't do it without that.
Sure.
And then we have. We've got everything on Google Sheets. That way I can look at it and see what's going on from anywhere.
Yep.
We have communications. We have notes. So any notes that are happening in the retreat, whether it's with a guest or with a employee or anything like that, a need, we have that. I have their operational daily goals are on there as well that they update daily, so I know what their goals are for the day.
Yeah.
So
this is your version of the Red Book, or
kind of. And I love the Red
RD
Book.
Playbook.
Yeah, because I used it for 2 to 3 years when we first opened.
Yeah.
The paper one.
Yep.
And then we went digital.
Yep.
And then we were using digital until we got the other 2 locations.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we've got the brand new RD Playbook that we released during convention.
Yeah.
But when I get it, it's awesome to be able to walk inside the retreat and open that book up and kind of see all the things that you just talked about.
Right.
Notes on guests, why we weren't able to overcome an objection, who took that guest, maintenance issues, right? All those different things. But when you are overseeing multiples, well, you're not necessarily walking in on a daily basis looking at those notes. You need to kind of see what's going on from almost anywhere, right?
Correct.
So hence having that.
Yes.
In the Google Docs.
In the Google Docs.
Yeah.
So that way, because I'm very involved. I don't know how to vacation well.
Well, hopefully you do.
I do. I was just in Breckenridge, though, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't vacation well. So I liked being able to go on and see what's going on with each retreat on a daily basis. And, if there's a coaching opportunity there to do that, I talk to them every day, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah. What are their accountabilities during the day? So, I mean, you talk to them every day, but, how do they know that you're really paying attention to revenue goals, membership goals, those kinds of things? Is there a daily call-in or a text or a...
There's a daily call-in.
Yeah.
We do text a lot, but between the daily call-in and our... I think John talked about our weekly spreadsheet that we keep. And on that spreadsheet, it tracks all of our KPIs and then also breaks it down by LC. So that way we can see coaching opportunities there. I do work with that on a weekly basis. And then, of course, on a daily basis, okay, where are y'all at today? Where do we need to go today? What is your daily goal? Does the front desk know about your daily goal? Do your therapist know about your daily goal? Because they need to be posting that information every day.
Yeah.
Or communicating it to their team every single day.
Sure.
I try to get to each location at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And have those one-on-one conversations, make sure the culture's going the way I want it.
Yeah.
Having conversations with a therapist, the front, just
Great.
kind of make sure that they know I care.
Yes.
I think if they know I care and I care about them individually, that'll all come together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, so do you guys use, so you talked about the daily goals. Do you how do you give the monthly goal at the beginning of the month? Or do you get a conference call, or just kind of send it out, or what is your kind of?
They have it available in SharePoint.
Okay.
So John gave all of his numbers to Jen and Chad at the beginning of the year for each location.
Yep.
What he wants to accomplish at each location for the year.
Yep.
And
Good.
so they have that available to them on SharePoint. His actuals and what he wants available to
Sure.
him. So it's just making sure at the beginning of the month I get with them,
Yeah.
make sure they're reading the right numbers. We're putting it into our spreadsheet and getting it ready for the month.
And then did you adjust the gross on a daily basis based on performance
Correct.
for the day prior? So they know, hey, maybe we started out with a $3,000
Right.
daily goal, but because we didn't hit yesterday, now we got to hit 3,400 today,
Correct.
or what have you. So you guys are managing the numbers day by day by day. You're
Correct.
not waiting to the end of the week, or you're waiting to the end of the month, or
No.
whatever. Yeah, that's the way to
So,
do
and it's
it.
all broken down too. It's broken down by actual revenue, gift card sales, retail sales, membership sales, elevations, our percentage for elevations, because we know that goes into our revenue as well.
Yep.
So,
Very, very good.
yeah.
So managing by day, managing those numbers by day, the expectations by day, and not letting it get away from you. So
No, it's happened. Whew.
yeah. Well, gosh, if you wait to the end of the week
Yeah.
and you're behind,
Yeah.
you've got a lot more work to do to
Right.
catch up, right?
Right.
So if you manage the numbers day by day, and people know kind of it really is small little things that make the big difference.
Right.
So you break it down and you start thinking, okay, well, we've got to hit $5,000 today, or whatever the
Yeah.
goal is, and that means we've got to have X number of services,
Right.
and we can't hit X number of services because we're actually short one therapist.
Correct.
And so if it just comes down to one therapist, like, oh, I can handle that. I
Yeah.
can tackle that, right?
Right.
It doesn't. You don't have to look
Yeah.
at the big number and
That's overwhelming.
yeah, that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Or you say, oh, I just need to increase average ticket by $5. Okay, well, if I sell X number of elevations, that increases that average
Right.
ticket. And so that breaking it down like that makes
It's
it
just more
attainable.
manageable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
attainable. You don't get so overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good to hear. So John talked about coaching, motivating, and inspiring. How do you do that specifically?
Sorry, I could just see him in my
You
head.
can, yeah.
Coach,
Motivate, inspire. Yes.
He's got to like, woo. I'm a natural cheerleader.
Yeah, I can see that about you.
Yeah, I'm a natural cheerleader, and I think they like being coached. They like knowing where they're at and what's going on. They like to know how they can improve, because if they improve, then that's just themselves, but the way we pay them, our front desk, their paycheck improves.
Sure.
So, they enjoy it. They soak it up. They do like to be coached. And I like coaching on the moment. I don't like waiting till the next day or 2 days later. So if I see something at the moment, that's why I think it's important to be up front. I do it at that time frame.
Yeah.
Whether it's, hey, you didn't really ask for that close on that sale. What could you have done differently? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Motivating, I think they love food.
Who doesn't?
They love food. They love food and contest and
Recognition.
and recognition, just a high five or, just some kind words.
Yeah.
John does all the inspiring.
Yeah. I have a feeling you do too.
Oh, I'm sure I do. I'm
You're
just
a
not sure
good
how.
team.
I think that my inspiration is probably the selling of the memberships. I think I have a goal of 9 this month, and I'm already
For you personally.
for me personally, and I have 8.
Yeah.
And the month's not
Good.
even over.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah,
an
you've got a lot of
inspiration to them
time.
too, and just seeing that I'm doing what I'm asking them to do. I'm asking for those elevations. I'm asking for those closes. So.
Yep. Talking about coaching, I have a friend that is the founder and now the CIO of the company she founded called the Lash Lounge, based right here in Dallas.
Yeah.
And it's now a national franchise. They're killing it as far as development goes, and she's awesome. And because she's such a good friend of mine, I'm loyal to her brand.
Right.
And so I get my lashes done. I go
Yay.
to the Lash Lounge in San Antonio, and there's this one technician that I see on a pretty regular basis. I'm
Mhm.
kind of the get me in whenever you can get me
Right.
in with whoever kind of person
Right.
because of my schedule. But I love to see Tony is her name.
Mhm.
And the first time I met Tony, I was like, who is? I've seen this girl before, but I
Mhm.
don't know where from.
Right.
And it was multiple services later and
Mhm.
months later,
Mhm.
honestly, where she finally told me that she used to be a team member at Massage Heights.
Tony?
Yes.
Long blonde hair.
No,
No.
she was
Okay.
a lead
Okay.
esthetician, our lead
Okay.
skin therapist at the Deerfield location in
Okay.
San Antonio, and she opened the store.
Mhm.
And the reason I knew her is the first week the retreat opened, I popped in there
Mhm.
to say hello and wish them congratulations. And I met her very
Oh
briefly.
gosh.
And I'm a person who never forgets a face.
Mhm.
And so I knew her face, but I couldn't recall why I knew her. Anyway, the reason I share this story with you is that she went on to tell me that all of her skills, and by the way, she is like our lead therapist.
Mhm.
They have lead stylists,
Okay.
and the lead stylists get compensated a little bit differently,
Right.
kind of like our lead therapists do for doing different jobs, right?
Right.
Helping with more of the management kinds
Right.
of responsibilities. And she's just an awesome stylist. But she actually said, Shane, I learned all of my sales and customer service skills at Massage Heights.
Wow.
And I just wanted you to know that.
That's awesome.
And she represents that brand so well. She is such a professional. She gives you education along the way. She does all of the right things.
Yeah.
And she attributes that to Massage
That
Heights.
is
I
awesome.
thought that was so awesome.
That is
I was like,
awesome.
how come you didn't tell me
Right.
sooner?
That is great.
But I tell you that because when you talk about coaching,
Mhm.
people do want that. They
Yeah.
want to know what the expectation is. They
Yeah.
want to know how they can improve because it doesn't just improve their paychecks. It improves their quality of
Right.
life and what their future opportunities are.
Right.
Right? So when we don't coach our people, we're doing them a disservice.
Absolutely.
Just like when we don't tell our guests the benefits of regular therapeutic massage and
Right.
skincare, we're doing them a disservice. It should be an important aspect of their life, and they need to know why. It's not
Absolutely.
just, oh, you're going to come in today and feel relaxed, or you're going to feel a little bit better. But if you do this on a regular basis, you're going to have a better quality of life.
Right.
And so that coaching comes in all aspects
All
of
aspects,
our business, right?
yeah.
So anyway, I just want to share that
Yeah,
with
that's
you
cool.
because you could make a really big difference by doing that
I
coaching.
love it. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love all of it. So
Yeah, I was so excited
Yeah.
to hear that story. I
Yeah.
was like, I love that. I love that,
That is
so
cool.
much. I love it. So do you guys do, the other thing I love is philanthropy. So, we have our Heights Family Fund, which
Right.
is, for our team members
Right.
that are in need, a crisis situation. And we've been able to gosh, help a lot of team members with that. But do you guys do any specific community outreach programs or philanthropic efforts in any of the areas that you're in? And I know a lot of, hey, you have people come
Yeah.
in probably every day and go, hey, can you donate a gift certificate, or can
right.
y'all do chair massage or
Right.
whatever? Is there anything that you guys are kind of passionate about in this?
I
in
don't
this
think
market?
anything on a regular basis right now.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Definitely always gift certificates to donations. One is the Minutemen disaster response team.
Mm-hmm.
I know they were just down at Kingwood not too long ago helping them. I guess a river overflowed and flooded some houses.
Oh, wow.
And so they went in and helped them. But as far as on a regular basis, no, we did the police officer thing in 2017.
Yeah.
I was thinking, though, it's something I would love to do. I was going to talk with Chad. I haven't had that opportunity. But I think it'd be really cool if we did something for the 3-day breast cancer walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're walking 60 miles in 3 days.
Yeah.
And I actually did that years ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I lost my big toe.
Oh.
Nail. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, that's terrible. Don't anyone do that walk.
No, but actually, I think it turned out to be 70 miles in 3 days. And you're
Wow.
sleeping in tents.
Yeah.
But it was a ton of fun. I would never, ever change that experience. But I think it'd be really cool if we could do something for those women.
Yeah, that would
Or
be
men
awesome.
who are walking
Yeah,
it.
you used to have chair massage wherever the stop points are,
Yeah,
or what
there's
have you.
tons of them,
Just
yeah.
kind of loosen them up, and make sure you take a lot
Yeah.
of wipes and sanitizer.
But I think think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well, just giving back to the community.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you guys are doing it little ways by just contributing gift cards or
Yeah.
whatever. And, I have a rule, and Nate Connect said the same thing. Somebody wants a gift card for something. Yes.
Absolutely.
Is always the answer.
Yes.
Because the way I see that is that shows us giving, right, back to the community and giving to those nonprofits that are trying to raise funds for whatever they're raising for. But it just creates brand recognition as well. And that's a free prospect, really, right?
It is.
So it costs you the
Absolutely.
cost of the service, which is a lot less than advertising. So my philosophy on that is, unless it's just something really weird,
Right.
yeah, we're not going to give you a gift card for anything really weird. But for the most part,
Yeah.
because it's like lots of schools and breast cancer organizations or organizations for children or what have you. So
Yeah, no, that's always a yes.
yeah, do you know that years ago we had a pretty big sponsorship with Rock and Roll Marathon series, and we did Rock and Roll San Antonio, Rock and Roll Vegas, San Diego, and Dallas.
Oh, wow.
And when we did that, we had to hire. I think for Dallas we had to hire 40 or 45 massage therapists. 35 of them were for the main tent, so post-race massage. Mainstream, we had a huge tent with 35 massage tables set up for complimentary massage. And then we had the VIP tent where we had another 4 or 5 or 10 massage therapists that were working on some of the Olympic athletes and people that were VIPs. And the reason I share this with you is it was a great tool to recruit therapists.
I bet.
So what we did is we posted ads online for just this one-day event, right? But then we had them come to one retreat. It was Plano, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
And she would tour them around and get their paperwork filled out so that we could pay them and give them an event shirt, right?
Okay.
And they had no idea that Massage Heights at the time even existed.
Right.
And if they did, they didn't know what it was like.
Yeah.
And so I think after that event, we ended up throughout the different Massage Heights in Dallas, we ended up hiring 10 or 12
Awesome.
full-time therapists.
Wow.
So just, something like you're
Yeah.
giving back to the community, again, doing something cool that's aligned with why we do massage, help people live their lives better, improve athletic performance or whatever it is. But we gained therapists out of that too.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah.
I like it.
So just an idea for you guys when you go out to do these events, you don't necessarily have to take people out of your own retreats. You certainly want to take a few because they like to do that. They like to do it. But you can hire people from outside.
I never even thought of it.
Yeah, and it's a good way for recruiting.
Yeah.
They get to know you, they get to know the brand that maybe
Right.
they didn't know anything about. So if you do it, think about that.
Yeah, that is cool.
Do you have any particular goal setting tips? We might have already kind of talked about that, but are there any? And what Let me just be more specific. Like with your massage therapists specifically, and setting goals for them, what do you find that they get the most excited about as far as goals go? Is there something one thing in particular, or you often hear, well, massage therapists don't like to sell and that sort of thing, which is understandable. They want to heal people and make them feel better, and when they're in school, the things that they're trained on selling, for instance, are one, they should be selling themselves, right? So that the way that they speak to that guest and obviously the service that they provide. Water always, drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's bath salts, go and soak. But other than that, they're very different than skin therapists.
Right.
Skin therapists sell, right?
Correct.
They're used to selling products, and that's kind of their thing. So when you think about goal setting, is there something that inspires, say massage therapist versus skin therapist versus LCs? Is there any one thing?
Kind of see where you're going with that. So like the skin therapist, like you said, that's what they do. They sell the product. They know they need to use the product at home. So they kind of do that naturally. But we do have they know what their goal is for sales, so that they can focus on achieving that. Massage therapists, I find that they really want those request rates. They know when they get a certain request. Am I saying this right? Request rate?
Yes, request. Yeah, request rate.
Rebooking
Say that 3
or
times.
rebooking, right? Or rebooking. They get excited about that. We've been working with one of our therapists, Erin, love her. And so yesterday, It was Saturday. I'm like, girl, you're 100% requested today. Yay!
Yay!
She's
Yeah.
like, I know, yay me. So and I think that's important to them because they know that means they're going to stay busy,
Yeah.
and people are going to come back and see them week after week,
Well, and
month
more
after month.
importantly, it means
Yeah,
they did a great
great job.
job, right? And
Exactly.
that people really valued the service that they provided
Exactly.
that day, or
So they get excited about that. I've got some who love their elevations. I think it's just finding you can't. Again, it comes back to treating each person
Mm-hmm.
and what's important to them
Mm-hmm.
as that.
Yes.
And they're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
What's important to one's not going to be as important to the other.
True.
So I think it's just finding out what that is for them and then working with them and coaching them and helping them get there.
Do you guys do you ever talk about, and you may or may not, but just something that I talk a lot about when I go out and about is, it's not the number of treatments that we've provided, it's the lives we've touched, right?
Yeah.
And how you actually were able to affect the life of that person today.
Yeah.
So, and instead of, hey, you did, four massages today,
Yeah.
or you did 4 sessions today, or 4 hours, or whatever
Right.
it is. Hey, you touched 4 lives today. Can you tell me a story about any one of those
Right.
people, how they came in, and what they left, how they left, that kind of thing? Because that's really what we're here for,
Exactly.
right?
Absolutely.
To elevate the
Mhm.
lives of the people that we touch
Yeah.
and make their lives better. And man, I know that no matter how people come in, they leave better
You know
every
that.
single time,
Yes,
right?
of course.
We have the best story ever.
Yes.
Really, when you
We
think
really
about it,
do,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what
Yeah.
other kind of thing can we do? Could you do, or business could you be in, where people literally walk out a better version of themselves
Right.
1 hour later?
There isn't.
Yeah,
There isn't.
there's not.
Maybe
So,
hair, but no.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's immediate gratification, and then
Yeah.
hey, and then you can't do your hair the same way that stylist did it, so it
doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It's
matter,
moot.
anyways. Yeah, but that massage can last for days or
days,
weeks,
yeah.
or what have you.
Absolutely.
So, our therapists do amazing work, and our skin therapists as well. They make people feel better through providing those great facials, and when our skin looks good, we feel more
Yes,
confident, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, before we move on to the next question, I want you to say request rate 3 times.
Request rate, request rate, request rate. That's hard.
Request rate, request rate, request rate.
Yeah.
Right.
That's hysterical.
All right. So let's talk about recruitment strategies.
Okay.
You've had lots of success. Would you say your success is across the board with all 3 locations, or do you feel like you've had more success at one specific location? And what have your strategies for recruitment been?
I think more success probably in McKinney
Yeah.
at the Stonebridge Ranch
Stonebridge,
location
yep.
than the other 2. I haven't quite figured out why on that yet. I don't. Yeah. That's something I'm going to have to work on and figure out. I have recently placed a more specific type ad for the Plano location, and I am finding I'm getting more and better results. I have the other locations listed, but it's just this is for Plano kind of thing. I think it's important to really have an ad all the time, but refresh it, of
Always
course,
be recruiting,
so that it can be refreshed and up at the top of the page. I think it's important that you're in the schools all the time. I'm in the
How
schools
often?
all the time.
Yeah. What's all the time? How often?
At least once a week, once every couple weeks.
Are you really?
Once every 3 weeks. We
Okay.
do mock interviews with the students who are getting ready to graduate. They have us come in and do mock interviews with them.
So, like employment interviews? Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've been in to teach their business class to tell them what to expect when they come out and how they do the whole business thing, resume, application. What do you do on an interview? I've taught that class for them.
Wonderful.
We've done a few. I need to get with Waters Creek because we kind of started it together, where we're doing. It's kind of like a brown bag lunch. It's like an expo where we bring in therapists and they show them deep tissues, hot stones, cupping. I had a skin therapist last time where she did little hand massages for them. So they come in, it's massage heights, we provide food, and they go to different booths
Okay.
and can learn a different skill or have it demonstrated for them.
Nice.
And then we have prizes where they spin a wheel and they can get a prize or a raffle or that kind of thing.
And you're finding that that's been effective.
Yeah, they love having us there. The thing is when you're there and you're there all the time, they get to know you, you get to know them, and a loyalty creates.
Yeah.
Where they're
Trust
like,
and-
all that because you're present. Kind of like having you at the retreat.
Sure.
You're present, you're here, you must care about us. We also fill our food pantry. at the school every couple months.
I've heard about that while
Mhm.
I've been here in the market, but explain that food pantry concept.
So, back in September, October of last year,
Mm-hmm.
I knew this, but I didn't really understand how big the need was. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the students just don't have either the time or the funds, mostly the funds, to grab something to bring to eat,
Yeah.
whether it's for breakfast, a snack in the middle of the day, something at night when they go to night school. So I just go to Sam's Club. We're taking turns in
Mm-hmm.
the area. Go to Sam's Club and load up on instant oatmeal or breakfast bars or protein bars or chips or just different things. Then I found out they had a freezer available
Mm-hmm.
too that
Mm-hmm.
they can monitor. So we have Hot Pockets in there and little cups of macaroni and cheese and just different things.
That's great.
Yeah, so we just fill it up and they,
So, and it's sponsored by Massage Heights, I
yeah,
guess, and that's
yeah,
so
and we have a
yeah.
little tag up there.
So that's
Compliments of
great.
Massage Heights, yeah.
God, it might be the only meal that they're getting
Yeah.
that day. I mean, they're struggling college students,
Right,
basically,
exactly,
right?
basically,
And
yeah.
so no different than any other
Yeah.
person that's trying to reinvent themselves
Mhm.
and get an education
Yeah.
and all of that, and sometimes maybe even more so
Right.
because a lot of people that are going into massage therapy, this is not necessarily the first thing that they thought of
Right.
when they left high school, right? They may have
Absolutely.
tried something else and they eventually kind of found their
Mhm.
passion and then get into massage
Yeah.
therapy. And so, well, that's a really, really great thing because, again, fuels their brain and
Yeah.
helps them learn better. And to your point, sometimes they just don't even have the money to be
Right.
able to do that. So I love that you guys are doing that. And you're giving back to the massage therapy community by doing that and giving
Correct.
back to the schools by helping with that education through the interviewing processes and business concepts and
Right.
teaching that. So
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you're doing that. Love that you're doing that. So those are the strategies. Working with the schools, you're doing some ads. Is there anything else that you're doing? And when you do ads, are you doing Google ads? Are you doing Glassdoor kind of stuff?
Really
What do
just
you?
Indeed. Indeed has been the
Indeed.
most
Okay.
successful for me
Okay. Indeed.
so far, I'd have to say. And I think your ads have to be very specific
Mm-hmm.
to exactly what you're looking for
Yeah.
and what you're willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get them in the door, you just need to hire them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't take the chance. You got to just hire them right
Yeah.
then and there.
Right.
You
Yep.
can't say, I'll get back to you because there's no getting back to them.
Right.
They can go next door and get a job
Other
right
opportunities
now.
quickly. Yeah.
So, and I think also relating to them, they need to feel the culture. We offer all the students a free 1-hour session. And I also encourage them to secret shop everybody they're even considering working for.
Nice.
And I said, and please pick me first. Here's your certificate. Go in. Don't let them know you're a massage therapist. Get your free session. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
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 I think that's a big deal too.
Well, that gives them the opportunity to talk to the therapist that's working on them
Yes.
and get their perspective on Massage Heights
Correct.
and that particular location or what have you. I was going to say, I wonder if your challenge in the other two retreats, because Stonebridge you guys built from the ground up,
Right.
and you built a reputation right from the get-go.
Yes.
The other two you picked up a year or so ago, right? And so I'm just wondering if there's going to just be more work in sort of changing perception because the culture was not necessarily the kind of culture that you guys built from the ground
Right.
up at Stonebridge. And so now changing that and then changing that perception in the market
Correct.
about those particular locations is so we talked about this earlier I think before
Yeah.
we even got on camera was
Yeah.
when you open a retreat the balance of scheduling and marketing has to be done so perfectly so that your therapists are busy and they're making tips and they're making money and your LCs too, right? But it has to be done in sync. Otherwise, you get that reputation of not being busy enough,
Right.
and so you don't want that.
No.
And so maybe that maybe your challenge is that you've got a different reputation to overcome right now.
And I could see that,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because it was just different ownership, different
Yeah.
kind of set of values in a
Right.
way, and different styles,
Yeah.
and all those things, and maybe not the attention
Right.
that they deserved, right?
Right.
And so just taking a little more time.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the biggest thing when you pick up a business that's already been operating.
Right.
You always face, what's the perception of
Right.
the public at this particular location,
Right.
and so you just have a little bit more to overcome. Um, So the recruitment, I think that's good. We talked about Indeed. We talked about I guess Google ads, or no? We're not doing
No,
Google
right
ads?
now we're just focused on Indeed, and
Okay.
I think that's really been helpful. And I think them coming into the retreat and taking a tour and getting a massage and seeing how they're going to be treated as a guest, because they're coming in as a guest,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
as a massage
Makes a huge
therapist.
difference.
And they're seeing that. I think they get a good idea of what our culture and our energy is like from the time they walk in the door.
Yeah. So who owns recruitment for you? Do you have and like so a resume
Yeah.
comes through, an application comes through online, or however it comes through. Who is in contact, and what time frame, and how does that all happen?
So it was a little combination. And then this ad I just posted recently, I don't know if you know this or not, John, but anyway, all the ads have been coming to me.
Okay.
And even though I've posted it mostly for Plano.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm reaching out to them. I'm calling them and or texting them.
Okay.
And they're responding back to me. And I've had an amazing response this past week.
Awesome.
Super excited. We got one girl over in Plano. I'm pretty sure Nicole's bringing her on board there. I have a girl coming in this afternoon to meet with me. I'm in McKinney. I'm not sure which location she's wanting right now, but so she heard from us from the Indeed ad. And
What did that Indeed ad say? Can you remember off the top of your head what was different?
It's not. I mean, it's long.
Is it?
It just talks about, career development. If you want to work for a place that's passionate and caring, and you want to be a part of an amazing team, and it talks a little bit about our pay structure. So because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
is the
Tell
pay
me about the
structure.
pay structure.
So the pay structure, we have it listed based on what Chad suggested we do, since we are testing or doing the tier.
Sure. Okay.
So
the tier,
we
yeah.
have it as 22 is the cap, and then 22 to 42. So that's going to catch their eye.
Yep.
Of course, there's qualifications
Sure.
for the tier,
Yes.
and so it's going to be up to them once we explain that tier process to them when they come in, if that's something they want to do or not.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Well, we're going to have a lot of people interested on the tiered
it's going really well so
pay
far.
structure. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I know we rolled it out fully in San Antonio after Jen and Chad had tested it at their locations, and so far so good as well. So I think that'll be something that
We
will.
don't actually start charging our guests till next month. But so far the feedback's been really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and the whole thing is look, you love this therapist. We want to be able to
Right.
keep this therapist, and the opportunity to do so is that we're gonna charge a little bit more. You don't have to continue
Right.
with this therapist. You can
Exactly.
still pay the lower rate, but
Yeah.
right. So for those of you just listening, there is a lot of structure around this, and it has
lot
been
of
tested.
structure.
And there's
Yeah.
operating procedures around how we introduce that to the members, and so on and so forth. So we've got to give
Yeah.
them a little time to understand what it is, and
Right.
there's some procedures around that we have to ensure that we execute on well every single time.
Exactly.
Inclusive on that call when somebody calls in for that therapist or
Right.
what have you, right? Letting them know so
Yes.
there are no surprises. But I think it's a great way to really reward our therapists that are, kind of doing the extra things
Yes.
to better themselves as therapists
Right.
as well. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yep.
We just rolled it out at Stonebridge for now. We wanted to see how it went,
Yeah.
made sure it went smoothly, and then we're going to bring it to the other two
But that's really helped with
locations.
your ad response.
Yes,
That's what it
it's
sounds
been
like.
huge.
Yeah.
It's been huge.
Yep, that's good.
So-
Yes, first and foremost, we talked about this earlier. People, when they're seeking employment, they've got to make a living,
Right.
right? So you look at the money,
Yes.
and you also look at the culture,
Right.
right? And you look at convenience and all those things.
All
as
those
well.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think bottom line, the kind of starting point is well, how
Yeah.
much can I make,
Right.
right? Yeah. So, and then you join for the other reasons too.
Yeah.
Well, we are all blessed to have you.
Thank you.
It's always nice to see your happy, positive face always.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to have people that have been so committed for the length of time that you have been. And I know that while I would love to say that you're committed to the brand, I know that a lot of that has to do with the way that the brand is portrayed by the strategic partner, which is
Absolutely.
John Weathers. And so that makes that I'm so grateful for John.
Yes.
That he really portrays the culture and values that that we envision for
Yeah.
our brand, and that he has someone like you doing the same thing.
Yeah,
So
it's so much fun.
it's awesome
I
to
love
have
it.
you. Now that you've heard from us, we'd love to hear from you. If there are any particular topics or special guests that you'd like to have on the podcast, please email us at communications@massageheights.com. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the Massage Heights YouTube channel. And as always, elevate the everyday.